Let us take a moment to offer our gratitude and acknowledge the gracious presence of our chief guest, Dr. Shiva Venkataramani, the gathered members of Amrita, Director Dr. Manoj, Principal School of Engineering Dr. Sriram Devanathan, Principal School of Computing and School of AI Dr. Gopalakrishnan, Chairperson Department of EEE Dr. Vidya, Vice Chairperson EEE Department Dr. Ram Prabhakar, Vice Chairperson Mechanical Department Dr. Rajiv Lochanan. I humbly acknowledge the presence of all the teaching fraternity, the staff for their unwavering dedication, our dearest senior students who have volunteered in great number to help us in today's program. Thank you and welcome. And above all, to you, dear parents, you taught your children to walk holding their tiny fingers, to speak, to dream. And today, with trembling pride, you send them into a new world, carrying not just bags and books, but your hopes, your values, your love. To you, we offer our deepest namaskarams, our deepest pranams. We honor your trust. We cherish your courage. On behalf of Amrita School of Engineering, Amrita School of Computing, and School of Artificial Intelligence, we offer our heartfelt congratulations to each and every student sitting here. You have just not entered the college, you have entered a temple of transformation, a garden of growth, a cradle of character. Welcome to Amrita, #1 private universities in India. But more than rankings, what truly matters is that at Amrita, minds are sharpened, values are deepened, and leaders are born with humility and heart. To all the dear parents, few of them who are seated in the other hall, to all the ammas, moms, mummy, ma, who woke up a little early today compared to the other days, added 1 extra spoon of ghee in the dabba with love, packed that extra tiffin box just in case your child feels hungry, and folded all her affection between layers of pickles, murku, chakli, and hugs. And to all the appas, naina, dad, daddy, papa, achan, who don't say much, who have checked Google hundreds of times, best engineering colleges near me, hostel food quality, Bangalore weather today, travel station next to the college, how many placements at Amrita. They don't show it, they don't express, but their heart was doing silent math, all for your future. Dear parents, we see you all in your child's eyes, their nervous smile, in the way they looked at you before they sat in this hall. Your prayers echo in every corner, your hopes walk beside your child today, and your sacrifices, they are seen, they are honored, they are deeply felt. From all of us here, our pranams, our gratitude, our promise, we will take care of your children as our own. With utmost pride, yet with humility, let me affirm and assure you have made the right choice. Here, your child is just not a roll number. They are a name, a voice, a story in the making. They will be seen, heard, guided, and cared for. At Amrita, they will be challenged, yes, to think harder, to work smarter, to be kind, to be courageous, to make mistakes, and then to rise stronger. But here's the key. Dear students, you have to choose to show up, to gear up, to step up, because this place is rich with opportunity for those who dare to grow. And to our precious new babies of Amrita, welcome home. To the budding engineers who chose the branch which was pioneered yesterday, today, and ages to come, and to the words Jnanam Vijnanam Sahitam. EEE isn't just about circuits, it's about smart grids and intelligent energy. Mechanical engineering isn't old school anymore. It's future ready, just with bit of grease and lot of genius. Robotics, well, clearly it's no longer science fiction, it's an essential syllabus now. And ELC, that's a silent power behind everything smart, electric, and efficient. Let this day not just be a welcome, let this be a sankalpa, a sacred resolve, a promise that you will fall and rise, that you will seek meaning, not just marks, that you will grow not only in skill, but in soul, that even as your dreams soar high, your roots are rooted deep down. And one day, when you walk across in your graduation attire, you look back at this very moment, and I hope your heart softly says, "This is where I became me." Let us give a huge round of applause to our esteemed guests, our dearest new students, and to their incredible parents. On behalf of everyone at Amrita family, with all our love from every corner of this sacred institution, I offer my pranams to everyone here. We are humbled and we greatly acknowledge your presence with us here. Now, as we begin this session, auspicious session, let us once again invoke the light, the eternal guide, not as a ritual, but as an indication that this flame will brighten your life. For this devout gesture, may I warmly invite to the stage our esteemed chief guest, Dr. Shiv Venkataramani, our beloved director, Dr. Manoj, Principal, School of Engineering, Dr. Sriram Devanathan, Principal, School of Computing and School of AI, Dr. Gopalakrishnan, Chairperson, Department of EEE, Dr. Vidya, Vice Chairperson, EEE Department, Dr. Ram Prabhakar, Vice Chairperson, Mechanical Department, Dr. Rajiv Lochanan, to kindly step forward. I request the audience to please rise. Shubham karoti kalyanam, arogyam dhana sampada, shatru buddhi vinashaya, deepa jyotir namostute, deepa jyoti parabrahma, deepa jyotir janardhana, deepo haratu me papam, deepa jyotir namostute. I fold my hands before the light that brings prosperity, auspiciousness, good health, abundance of wealth, and destruction of enemies' intellect. I fold my hands before the Lord, the maintainer of this creation in the form of this light. I adore this light, which destroys all the pains resulting from my omissions and commissions. Light symbolizes knowledge and darkness ignorance. The Lord is Chaitanya, who is the source, the enlivener, and the illuminator of all knowledge. Hence, light is worshipped as the Lord himself. Thank you, sir. Thank you, professors. Thank you, all the parents, for your prayers, blessings, and goodwill. We have our student, Ms. Anagha, rendering the invocation song.
ध्यायामो धवलावगुण्ठनवती तेजोमयीं नैष्टिकीं स्निग्धापाङ्गविलोकिनीं भगवतीं मन्दस्मितश्रीमुखीं वात्सल्यामृतवर्षिणीं सुमधुरं सङ्कीर्तनालापिनीं श्यामाङ्गीं मधुसिक्तसूक्तिम् अमृतानन्दात्मिकामीश्वरी अमृतानन्दात्मिकामीश्वरी अमृतानन्दात्मिकामीश्वरी.
Thank you, Anaga, for that soulful rendition. Before we begin, let us take a moment to anchor ourselves in the spirit that defines Amrita, a spirit shaped by our beloved Chancellor, Mata Amrita Nandamayi, whose words continue to guide every step we take. Let me start with our Chancellor's profound message. The world today is in the dire need of people who lead with compassion. Real leadership is not about ruling others, but about serving them selflessly. At Amrita, these words aren't just ideals, they are lived every day by the people who guide this institution. And today, I have the privilege of introducing you to one such leader, someone who truly embodies these values. Before I invite our campus director, Professor Dr. Manoj, for the welcome address, I would like to take a moment to introduce the remarkable journey behind the name. Some journeys are driven by ambition, others by service, and a rare few, like his, by both. We are honored to be guided by a leader whose career spans continents, disciplines, and decades of excellence. Dr. Manoj embarked on his professional journey with the Singapore Navy, serving with distinction as a naval officer for 13 years, specializing in electronic warfare. An academic at heart, Dr. Manoj holds a degree in electrical and electronic engineer, as well as a master's in information studies from prestigious Nanyang Technological University, Singapore, and an MBA in IT management from University of Surrey, UK. After his naval tenure, he transitioned to IT industry, first as an IT manager in international law firm and later as a Singapore country manager for SoftBridge Solution, an IT services firm operating across Japan, Singapore, and as well as India. His journey then took him to Sydney, Australia, where he worked as an IT security analyst, diving deep into critical domain of cyber and information security. Further, he also has a certified information system auditor, CISA, a globally recognized credential in information system governance. Further, in the year of 2007, Dr. Manoj returned to India, joined Amrita Vidyapeetham, where his passion for service aligned beautifully with the mission of education. His PhD in disaster management from Amrita reflects his commitment to building resilience in society, blending technical insight with humanitarian purpose. Today, as both campus director and dean of School of Business, he continues to lead, inspire, as well as innovate, shaping our young minds while strengthening institutional excellence. It's an honor to be guided by such leadership and even greater privilege to now invite him to address us all. With immense respect, pride, please welcome Professor Dr. Manoj.
Om Amriteshwari Namaha. I bow down at the lotus feet of my Guru, Her Holiness Mata Amritandamayi Devi. And a very, very good morning to everyone present here. It's so nice to see again the fresh faces of the School of Engineering here at Bangalore campus. Very warm welcome to the students and the parents who have done all the hard work to get the students here today. Very, very warm welcome, and I humbly leave this campus open to all of you for the next 4 years and more. Again, I would like to place on record a very warm welcome to our chief guest, Dr. Shiv Venkatramani, who's again known to some of us, or at least the principal's old friend. So I think, we kind of just connected, the university kind of just connects. And it's very nice to have him here. Thank you for coming and inspiring our students today. Again, a very warm welcome to all the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, Dr. Sriram Devanathan, Principal, Dr. Gopal Krishnan, Dr. Vidya, the chairman of the EEE department, Dr. Ram Prabhakar, and Dr. Rajiv Lochna, and of course all the others who are sitting here and maybe not sitting here doing other work, and the parents and everybody who else is in the other hall. A very warm welcome to all of you. This Bangalore campus is, when you all come here for the engineering, I always say that this is probably the most important campus of Amrita. I mean, you all have decided that you're going to come to Amrita, but which campus? And I always say that, when it comes to technology, you have to be where the action is, or in anything. And in making this choice of coming to Bangalore, I think you've given yourself the best chance of success, because you are in the heart of where technology is being sent to the world. So this is where the action begins, action starts, action, and so you are part of the action. So make use of that, the location advantage that you have in Bangalore. So again, congratulations to all of you for making it to this stage. And of course, taking Amrita, it's a big decision, and I think it's the most important decision that you've made. So, Amrita is not a small university anymore. We've been young. We are still very young university, 22 years, but we are not a small university. We've got 10 campuses. I'm not sure how many of you knew that we had 10 campuses across, now typically the length and breadth of India. So the latest campus is in Haridwar, and so that's a new campus. So we've been expanding. I don't think there's any other university which has expanded so successfully. So expansion is, you can always expand, you can always buy campuses and set up, but having a successful program in each of these campuses, that's not an easy task. So this campus, why are we expanding? I mean, the whole vision of Amma's, the chancellors, when Amma set up the university, is to provide really, really value-based education. And I've seen many universities talk about value-based, but, you have to, walk the talk. And I think in that sense, Amrita has built a great reputation in walking the talk when it comes to value-based education. So primarily, I would say, I always talk vision, mission of the university. And with Amrita, the first and foremost, what we want everyone to do is to, give you an education for life and also for living. There's a difference. I mean, some of you may know, many of you may know, education for life is the most important value that we have. How do you lead a life? Education for living is definitely there. That is why you are here in Bangalore, to get a job, to make a living, to make sure that you are successful in life. Fantastic. But more importantly, together with that, how do you live a great life? And that moral-based life. And that is something that we hope to give. And this may not be through, just classes, but it's just through observations. It's just through the activities that you see that's happening around the campuses, the personalities that come and talk to you about what you have to do. And generally, the full atmosphere is designed, or maybe not designed by us, but it's just the way that Amrita works. And so I can guarantee to the parents that they have given their child the best chance to live as a great human being and also have a great career. Now, the other two things about Amrita is, of course, we are ranked, if you've looked at the ranking, Amrita is the number one, especially why a university exists is actually to make an impact on society. And Amrita has been ranked consistently the number one university in India for impact. That means societal impact. And that is where you all are. Why are we here? We have to do something for society. And that's the whole ethos of Amrita. And for that, we have been recognized by Times Higher Group, which is a internationally ranking agency, as the number one university making an impact in society. And that's through research, that's through the programs that we have, that's all through measurable metrics that, based on SDG goals. And so that's where you are part of. It is not a simple thing. And as you will also notice that as you are getting into your career, sustainability and how you think about the fellow human beings are going to be very, very strong part of your career, of your CV, if you want to say. So for that, Amrita has designed programs where you go and look at, and I'm telling you, these programs are very, very important. And even though you may think that, things like Live in Labs, those who may have looked at Live in Labs, which is, a program where students from different branches, not only engineering, go to villages, live in the village, understand the problem of society, and design solutions. This is done over a period of 4 years. And I've seen many, many students, especially those who have taken admissions for master's programs and PhD programs in foreign universities, very good universities. The moment they say that they have done this kind of work and prove that they have done these works, that really, really, gives them a big leg up on their admissions, because that's what people are looking for, people who can make a difference to the world. And so that's where you all have come. Now, you all, I think today we have a mix of students from electrical, you have people from mechanical, we've got people from robotics, we've got people from ELC. So many different branches. I started my journey as an electrical engineer. My basic degree is in electrical engineering. But today I'm not an electrical engineer, right? I would like to say that I'm more than that. So your life is going to be an experience. I'm just the sum of all my previous experiences. Where you start off is not where you're going to end. So trust me, all you have to do is make sure that you keep learning. And the moment you stop learning, you stop growing. So this is only just the beginning. Okay, so it doesn't really matter. Some of you, the electrical may be your first choice. Some of you, the electrical may not be your first choice. Some of you, the robotics may be your first choice, or mechanical may not be your first choice. Does not really matter. Doesn't really matter. Trust me, it does not really matter. I think all the people on the dais today, most of them would have been a testament to that statement, because you are not going to end where you start. All of us have got different careers. You can, if you once, I think they read the bio of Mr. Shiv Venkatramani, you will see that also. Even our principal. Everybody has got a different set of skills, but all of these things, what do they teach you? I always talk about rewiring your brain. And, the engineering discipline is basically trying to rewire or wire your brain to think in a certain manner that is going to be so useful in so many other, in fact, every discipline in the world. I know in Singapore, when I was doing my engineering and my fellow graduates, many of them were from India who came on some scholarships. The big banks, Citibank and, HSBC and DBS, they all used to come to campus for hiring, right? And we had BCom or BBA students, but they would only come for the top jobs, only for the engineers. And many of them are bankers in Swiss Bank, and many of them, I know many of them, who have who graduated. They're not, here, but they're in Dubai and Switzerland and all. So it's just the fact that they believe that the way that an engineer thinks, the way that they have developed their thinking, it's so versatile that they really can do anything. So again, one is, of course, you can do anything that can make you money. Again, that's what Amrita is here for. It's not just making money. While you go ahead and become great engineers, doctors, and whatever that you want to become, entrepreneurs, always think of somebody. Always think of somebody else. Always think of society. Make that as part of your personality, of your character. And I think that's what Amrita stands for. Again, you all have come here with great hopes. And I think what we have here is a wonderful set of faculty, great atmosphere, and all it takes is the right attitude. And that's going to take you places. So again, a very warm welcome to all of you. I'm not going to take up too much of your time, and I just wanted to say a welcome from my end to all of the students, all of the faculty, parents, and everyone else who has come here today. We'll take care of your child. We'll take care of your ward. to make sure that they get the best chance in life. Om Amriteshwari Namaha.
Thank you, sir, for that warm, wise, and insightful thought. Sir says, learn to learn. A note to begin this journey can't be meaningful than this. Through his words, sir emphasized on the motto of our university, which is education for life. Sir spoke of how impactful Amrita's research is to reach the unreached and for the societal benefit, and thus walking hand in hand with the SDG goals set by the United Nations. Sir says, rewire your brain to grow into a responsible, compassionate, and capable engineers. From navigating high seas in the Singapore Navy to now guiding young minds at Amrita, your journey itself is a lesson in courage, discipline, global thinking, and most of all, service with heart. With that powerful note, to set the tone, let us continue this day of beginnings with even more excitement and heartfelt welcome to our director, Dr. Manoj. Thank you very much, sir. Now, to formally welcome our honored chief guest, Dr. Shiv Venkataramani, I would like to invite Dr. Manish Valvekar to present a bouquet as a token of our profound respect and gratitude. Your presence adds immense value to our event today, sir.
It's my distinct honor to introduce our esteemed guest for today, Dr. Shiv Venkataramani. Dr. Shiv Venkataramani is Head of Operations and Technology for Lab India. He has been with Lab for 10 years and is responsible for leading operation functions including safety, quality, end-to-end supply chain, manufacturing, product engineering, and technology. Fulfillment, and in his spare time, he follows his passion, coaches and mentors, executives, site and functional leaders, as well as black belts, green belts, Kaizen facilitators, and student of Lean and Six Sigma. Prior to Lab India, Dr. Shiv worked at TE Connectivity based out of China, where he was Director of Operations and Continuous Improvements for Asia Pacific Network Solution Business Unit. Prior to that, Dr. Shiv was the Director of Continuous Improvement for ADC Telecommunications based out of Minneapolis, USA. Shiv was also independent consultant in US in the field of Lean Six Sigma continuous improvement from many prestigious US-based companies. For around 10 years, Dr. Shiv has worked at 3M Corporation, Minneapolis, USA, starting with research and development, product development, manufacturing technologies, and mergers or acquisition. Along the way, he was certified as a Lean Six Sigma Black Belt and a Master Black Belt, as well as Design for Six Sigma B&B. Dr. Shiv has authored 15 plus articles in peer-reviewed journals in engineering, science, and Lean Six Sigma, and has around 15 plus patents, US and all over the global, to his name. He has spoken at several Lean Six Sigma management conferences and roundtables. Dr. Shiv has a Master's in Business Administration, International Business from University of Minnesota, and a PhD in Polymer Science or Plastic Engineering from University of Massachusetts, and a BS in Chemical Engineering, Birla Institute of Technology, Science in India. With utmost respect, I would like to welcome Dr. Shiv Venkataramani.
So thank you for the kind introduction. I appreciate that. I didn't realize I actually have done so much, but first of all, it's a pleasure for me to be, sorry, I have a little cold, so it's a pleasure for me to be here addressing young minds. So thank you very much for the opportunity, Dr. Sriram, Principal of the School of Engineering, and Dr. Manoj and all the esteemed faculty here. So, I don't want to bore you with a lot of slides or information that you already know. So how many of you, show of hands, how many of you came to engineering because your parents wanted you to do? The parents are there. How many of you, show of hands, wanted to join engineering By yourself? I have one hand, two, okay, few of them. I think students are not so democratic as as I thought it was. Okay, because, okay, I'm a bit old. Let's say 1987, I had a 1-minute chat with my dad. I actually wanted to become a commercial pilot. So I think Dr. Manoj said that you start somewhere, you end up somewhere else. Yeah? I wanted to become a commercial pilot. In those days, it was Air India, Indian Airlines, Indira Gandhi Rashtriya Udan Academy in Raebareli. It's a bit expensive. For those days, full commercial pilot was about 1 lakh. So I told my dad I want to become a commercial pilot. He said no. I said it's my career. He said it's my money. End of discussion. Okay? That was end of discussion. No further argument. I wanted to open my mouth. My mother showed her eyes. That's it. She said, that's it. Okay? So we've come a long way in 35 years or so where students, I can't have that conversation with my son. Actually, it's also a 1-minute conversation because my son shuts me up. He's 20, by the way. Yeah? So, I still find it interesting that we were talking before this. I find it interesting that parents still have a good hold on the kids, yeah? Because most of you looks like you have come to engineering because your parents wanted you to come. Is that correct or not? No? Okay. Hopefully not, because I think India has come a long way. We are no longer a bandwagon culture. We follow our minds, yeah? And I'm very happy to see. So I'm the CEO of a manufacturing company. We have young sales engineers who join us. For me, it's a very difficult thing for me and my staff to deal with Gen Z kids. Okay? I had a sales engineer who came and said, I need 3 days work from home. Okay? So it's a different thing. When I started my career, I could not imagine talking to my boss like that, yeah? So it's a very different world, and I'm very happy that students have actually become democratic compared to what I was. Yeah? And then you have come to a great university. I know. By the way, I thank you for inviting me. Your principal Sriram and I go a long way back. It shows the power of networking. Okay, so you are here to learn. I think Dr. Manoj said you're here to learn, and you learn more as much as possible. But you're also here to connect with each other. To me, I forgot the studies that I did in Whitspill, I need to be honest with you. Okay, I don't remember the classrooms I went to. I think I barely remember the professors. But I remember my friends. Okay, the friends I grew up with are friends for life. I have friends who are CEOs. I have friends who are IAS officers. I have friends who are ministers. So these guys, we grew up together. So I think I'm assuming a lot of you are hostelites. Yeah? So make the connections. This is what it is all about. Life is all about connections. Okay? Connections in college, in school. I went to school in Madurai. This was the days without internet. This was the days without Facebook, WhatsApp. And we all connected. I don't know how we connected, but we all connected, right? We connected with phone calls. We connected with letters. We connected with greeting cards. Okay, for you guys, it's a lot easier to connect because you're always on Facebook or Instagram. I think Facebook is so passé now. I think it's Instagram now. People are like, what the heck is Facebook, right? It's Instagram. So you're all connected all the time. I'm happy to see most of you don't have phones now. Maybe it's not allowed. I'm not so sure. You have confiscated or something like that. I have no idea. Okay, but anyway, I'm happy to see for the last 10 minutes, since Dr. Manoj started speaking, 15 minutes, nobody has touched their phone. That's actually quite impressive. Okay, so connect with your roommates, connect with your friends, because this is what will, you never know how you cross paths here. So 1997, I joined a company called 3M. I think a lot of you know 3M. So I drive in my old car from Boston because I did my college in Boston, PhD. I went to I took up an apartment, and I showed up at the apartment manager's, and he said, hey, another Indian guy has joined 3M and he's in the same apartment building. And this was the days when there were not that many Indians in Minneapolis. And that Indian was Dr. Sriram. Okay? So we joined 3M at the same time. And I said, okay, I come from University of Massachusetts. Then I said, okay, where did you do a PhD? He said, Iowa State. Then he said, I did PhD in chemical engineering and a PhD in statistics. 2 PhDs, gentlemen. Your principal has 2 PhDs, ladies and gentlemen. So I was quite awestruck at that. So very, very learned. You are very lucky to have a principal who was so accomplished and who's in the service of education. Yeah. So big hand to my close friend Sriram. But you see the networks, yeah. So that day, May 2nd, 1997, 28 years later, we are still connected. So I'm happy that to see him in the service of education. Like, unlike me, he was a corporate honcho, I guess. But so connections are important. Yeah. And what else can I tell you? The future is bright. In fact, he came to India in 2007, 2005. I relocated to Shanghai and then to India in 2013 or so. And I find India to be very impressive. I know a lot of you have aspirations to go abroad. I think you should. I think Dr. Manoj said that the experiences, what you get is phenomenal. Yeah. I think India is great. It's the age of digital world. And I'm very happy to see a lot of you in electrical engineering and mechanical engineering. Believe me, there is life outside of IT. And it's actually fun. Okay? It's actually fun. And I'll give you a little personal story. In 11th standard, I had taken maths, physics, chemistry, computer science. And this was in 1987, when computers were the size of this hall, and you had to use cards to punch. Okay? And there was BASIC and COBOL, and I couldn't get it. I just said, I cannot live in this imaginary world. In 12th standard, I somehow convinced my principal and my father that I will do commerce as a 4th subject. My father is a chartered accountant, and he couldn't understand it. He said, maths, physics, chemistry, commerce. Also 1-minute conversation, he said, you do whatever you want. Okay? So that's how dads were in those days, yeah? So it was very easy to convince him. It took 1 minute. He was reading his paper. I went and told him. He said, okay. So that was the time I said that I am not meant for computers. I studied chemical engineering in Pitts-Pilani. Electrical engineering was my first choice. I couldn't get it. But then I told the world that chemical engineering is the best. Okay, I think Dr. Manoj said the same thing. And then I wanted to go to the US to study. Early 90s, all my friends wanted to go to the US. Also 1-minute conversation with my dad. He was reading the paper, then he said, hey, you're finishing college, do you know what you're going to do? I said, I want to go to the US and study. He said, I hope you know where the US is because I don't. This was the exact conversation I had, okay? And then anyway, I ended up in the US, full scholarship to UMass. But then a lot of my friends went to IT, went to computers, because that's where they thought the money was there, yeah. Why? And then I thought to myself, I said, why am I still in the field of polymer science where I was actually doing experiments? I was using test tubes, I was running extruders. Why am I still doing that? Actually, coming to think of it, it's all how you are shaped in your early years. My father was a chartered accountant. So he used to go do audits for a lot of these companies. Ashok Leyland, Pony Sugars, Loyal Textiles. And he used to put us in the car, summer vacation, he used to put us in the car, and when he was doing the audit of the companies, he let me go around the factories. And that's when I thought I really like materials to flow. I like to see things happen. Cyber world is a little abstract to me. Okay, we use computers, yes, there is a room and place, but I still like mechanical stuff. And I'm assuming a lot of you are here because you like mechanical stuff. You like to do things with your hands. And believe me, computers are enablers. IT systems are enablers. They make you more efficient. Of course, with a laptop, with a phone, makes you more efficient. But as my dad always said, you still have to make things. You still have to make cars. IT will not do it for you. You have to make food. Yes, you have to make sugar, you have to make cereal, you have to make things. And there's a lot of scope for mechanical engineering. Okay, so I think you have come to the right subject, or electrical engineering. In fact, we make cables, connectors, electrical accessories. It's a lot of fun to go into a factory. I still do. Every day I walk into my factory and I learn new things. How a cable is made. How can you process things more efficiently? How can you, what is the technology? Because technology always evolves, not just IT. So I'm also responsible for new product development. It's very, very interesting to see how we can do new products for cables, communication cables, etc. So it's a lot of fun. I think it's, but I think the future is also enabled by AI. Okay, so I have to, I'm kind of overwhelmed with all the AI stuff that my younger staff bring to me. Okay, we are now figuring out how to use AI in manufacturing, how to use. So I think there's a lot of scope to learn AI that drives mechanical products. Okay. I know I'm lecturing to the wrong people. You guys are already, written your thesis in ChatGPT. How many of you use ChatGPT? 1%? Come on, I don't believe it. Okay. So I know it's a lot of debate to use ChatGPT or whatever other tools. I have a 20-year-old son who's studying in the US. I was making a PPT, he wanted to go somewhere, and he said, I said, I'm busy with the PPT, you go out. He came back 3 hours later, he said, Dad, are you still working in the PPT? I said, yes. He said, give me the content, I'll do it in 1 minute. Okay. Somehow, I still like to use my thinking and to, So, I know ChatGPT, again, is a very productive tool. AI is a very productive tool. Use it to your advantage. I'm not sure if ChatGPT is officially allowed in universities. Okay, no.
Yes. Ethically, yes.
Ethically, yes. Okay. It was like how calculators was not allowed in engineering during my time. Yeah. Okay. So during my time in BITS Milani, the invigilators used to check if you are bringing calculators. I'm not so sure if that can happen anymore. People are bringing Excel, etc. Yeah. So I think ChatGPT is here to stay. AI is here to stay. We were just at a global conference where there was a lot of AI. I think AI, I'm not sure it will rule the world, but the way AI is going, I think we need to adopt, whether we like it or not. Yeah. So again, I don't want to bore you. I know the parents are saying, okay, my students are here. I think you're in good hands with this university because I can personally vouch for my friend who is a principal here. You can go home peacefully. And I appreciate all the parents for coming here to see their ward settle down, because my parents did not show up in Pilani. It was a long road. It's a long way away from Madurai. Yeah? So we had to change a train, and then 36 hours before we reached Delhi, and then change buses and another 7 hours by Haryana roadways to go to campus. It was hard. 18 times I did the trip. Students nowadays don't do that. They fly, they take a Volvo bus, etc. So I think life is easier than we were students in terms of your comforts. Your parents have provided a lot of comforts for you to come and join here. They were all with you. I think your teachers are with you. Learn. I think I really liked what Dr. Manoj said. Learn as much as you can. Okay, I mean, you see, I still want to learn because learning never stops. And connect with your friends. These guys will be with you, and ladies, of course, will be with you for the rest of your lives. For me, all my entire life has been about connections. I got married to my wife because her brother-in-law was my classmate from college. That is the only criteria that my father-in-law used. Seriously. My brother-in-law, my wife's sister's husband was from my school and was from my college. And the only reason, not for me, that is the only reason my father-in-law decided to, give his daughter to me. Yeah? So I was at a conference in Orlando. I was presenting a paper. I was looking for a job. Getting a job was not so easy if you're not a green card holder or something like that, always in the US. There was a guy who was sitting in the audience. He came and talked to me about the paper. He said, "You call me." This guy was a scientist at 3M. I emailed him my resume. 3 days later, I got an interview call. And this guy was my senior whom I had never seen in BITS Pilani. Okay? So Professor Dr. Kannan Ranga Ramanujam was my senior. Okay? Everywhere, you know, your connections, your job interviews, everything happens through connections. Of course, with LinkedIn, everybody is connected, yeah? But these were the days before LinkedIn when you actually connected with people face to face. So do that. Your friends, you have no idea how these people will end. So as I leave you with my final thoughts, learn, connect with your friends. As Professor Manoj said, you may start here, you may end up somewhere else. You know, you see the stories of so many people, successful entrepreneurs. Now everybody wants to be a startup. Do that, follow your passion. Follow your passion. Yes, your parents will always give you advice, teachers will always give you advice, but follow your passion. Because if you don't follow your passion and don't regret it, finally, I think in the confines of this August University, I think what you should all seek is contentment. After all these years of aspirational thinking, what really keeps me grounded, and I think keeps many of us grounded here, is contentment. Okay, contentment for me is different than you, but at the end of the day, feel contented, feel happy. I think Amrita is a great school to teach you service. I think you're in a great place. I'm very impressed with the campus here. I know I've seen the campus in Coimbatore. So with that, good luck to all of you. Wish you all the very best, and learn, connect, and at the end of the day, have fun. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for making the talk so engaging. Audience not touching the phone is a testimony of how involving your talk was. Thank you very much, sir. I think more than the Six Sigma belt, I think it is the belt of friendship, that Indianness that connected Sriram sir and Shiv sir. Connections, sir emphasized on connections. And the line, "There is life outside IT," is the mantra. Sir reiterates on learning. He says, follow your passion. And sir, I must take this personal moment to tell you that I recently saw, not recently, a few years back possibly, a video clipping on in YouTube where it was associated with expansion of lab organization. I think more than the magnitude of the project, what amazed me was the emphasis that you gave on growth and the conviction and commitment. And I think the same sense of growth, that spirit of growth was seen here, echoed here. Thank you very much, sir. And of course, not to forget, we would love to have and look forward to have zillions of 1-minute conversations with you. Thank you very much, sir. I invite Pooja to introduce our Principal School of Engineering, Dr. Sriram Devanathan.
Thank you. Before I invite our principal, Dr. Sriram Devanathan, for his address, I would like to take a couple of moments to brief about sir. Dr. Shivram Devanathan, our esteemed principal, also chairperson of mechanical engineering, is a scholar par excellence. Dr. Shriram holds a rare dual PhD from Iowa State University in chemical engineering as well as statistics, a powerful blend of precision and analysis. Not stopping there, he also holds a master's in chemical engineering and another in sociology, bringing together science, system, and society in one brilliant mind. Before stepping into academia, he spent over a decade in US industry working with global giants 3M company Lonza Biosciences across Minnesota, Texas, California, and Washington, D.C. During this time, he led global quality improvement, cost reduction projects in multiple 3M manufacturing units, turning engineering into efficiency and innovation into impact. His passion for learning and sharing led him to train more than 1,200 professionals, engineers, managers, and operators in statistical methods, software tools, and Six Sigma methodologies. His technical expertise is deep and wide from CGMP, that is Current Good Manufacturing Practices, to ISO internal auditing. He has mastered the global standard of excellence. Among his many accolades are Six Sigma Black Belt training from 3M USA, ISO 9001 Internal Auditor Training USA, the prestigious 3M Pollution Prevention Pay Award, and a special citation for social services from Mayor of Los Angeles, California. With over 23 years of rich research experience, Dr. Sriram's focus today is as inspiring as it is impactful. Sustainable development with deep engagement in women's empowerment, rural upliftment, combating gender bias, and fostering resilience in tribal communities. A leader, a researcher, a mentor, and a change maker, Dr. Sriram Devanathan truly embodies Amrita's vision of life, that is, education for life, not just for living. May I now invite our principal, School of Engineering, Dr. Sriram Devanathan, to address the gathered.
Om Amriteshwari Namaha. Distinguished chief guest, my friend, so whom we all call Shivri, and our campus director, Dr. Manoj, my other colleagues here on the dais, Dr. Gopalakrishnan, as parents and dear students. A very warm welcome to all of you. So let me start by doing a little bit of interaction with the students, because you've been sitting for a while and you have to sit for a little while longer. So first thing, so that you get a little bit of a stretch, all those who are from, so now this question actually does not require a verbal answer, so you're off the hook. It's very easy. All you have to do is stand up if it applies to you, right? So those who are from either Andhra Pradesh or Telangana, could you please stand up? Thank you. Please sit. Those who are from Karnataka, could you please stand up? Some people are a little slow in realizing, or they're trying to make up their mind, I think, if they are from Karnataka or not. Okay. Border states. Okay, thank you. From Tamil Nadu? Okay, thank you. Kerala? Okay. And now, sorry for doing this, but from the rest of India, combining a whole bunch of states. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Good to understand the composition of this. Now, you've come from many different places within the country, and you've probably read about the university to some extent, or you've heard from your friends, your seniors, maybe your parents or their friends, and so on. So our campus director, Dr. Manoj, mentioned that we have 10 campuses. I also want to do a little bit of a spot quiz, and I want you to interact. There are no negative marks for wrong answers or anything. Just take wild guesses. Question number 1, how many students does Amrita have? Just shout out the answer. Just across the 10 campuses. Take a wild guess. 100? Huh? 5,000, okay. You're quite a bit undershot. 50,000, okay. Now you've gone quite a bit over. So huh? Very good, very good. So you're close to the mark. So we are close to 30,000 here. So now the second question should be a little bit easier, because you know, if you know the number of students, you can get a reasonable guess for the number of faculty. So how many faculty do you think the university has? Okay, very good, very good. Straight off the bat, so it's close to 2,000 faculty that we have here. And now the next thing, you know that it's a university, it's not a college. So if it's a university, it's got to have not just quantity, but quality. So it's got to have diversity, right? So how many degree programs do you think Amrita University offers? 30, okay. Now you're quite a bit under. 75, keep going. 100, you still have to keep going. Still more. So we are close to 230 degree programs. Now that's quite a lot. Now 230 degree programs is quite a lot to manage, wouldn't you say? So 230 degree programs cannot be all in engineering, right? It's not possible. So it's got to have diversity. What is the diversity? So there's, if you look at the broad domains of knowledge, you've got mathematical sciences, physical sciences, chemical sciences, life sciences, social sciences. And then there's two other areas, law and logic. Now, we don't have any degrees in logic, but logic obviously has to be used in everything else. We don't have law, but it's beginning. It is coming up. So all the other things are now covered in these 5 domains: mathematical, physical, chemical, life and social sciences. So all these are covered in these 230 degree programs. Now, how did this happen? In what time frame did this happen? The answer is surprisingly a small number of years, 22 years. If you look at the Harvards and Yales and all these established universities across the world, Oxford, Cambridge and so on, you're talking about something that's 150 years old. Now, 150-year-old university that makes it to a top rank in the global rankings versus a university that's 22 years old that makes it to the global rankings. Which one would you say is more impressive? You know the answer. 22 years is a very short time frame. You have no idea what it takes to establish a program and to invite students for it and to do a good job of delivering it to the point where the global ranking agencies actually wake up and say, oh, newcomer, but high quality, high standards. And that's what's been done here. Now, all this is fine, right? You have read about some of these. You may have read about the research. So if you look at the research, which is a huge component in the rankings, so there's over 500 sponsored research projects, grants that the universities obtained. And the quantum of the support is over 330 crores. Now, it's very rare for a 22-year-old university to claim something like this. Very rare. You will be hard-pressed to find maybe a handful of universities across the whole world who've achieved this. So these are all very good accomplishments. Now, in this journey, as our chief guest has told today, the networking is extremely important, right? But there is something beyond that. Now, supposing you've done a great job, fantastic job in connecting with people from Insta, from Facebook, from LinkedIn and so on. You've done that. Let's say you have 20,000 people in your network. Now, these 4 years that you're there, you've sat silent, you've made the connection, but you've been silent. You've been focused on, let's say, getting a degree, just getting a degree. Now, at the end of the 4 years, you have that network, you have that connection. But now when you approach them to get the benefit and the fruit of the connection, what will they look for in you? Is it just a degree? Maybe 1 lakh people will have the same degree as you. So is it just the degree? So what will they look for? Obviously, they're looking for something of substance, something that means something to them. So they want to see if you stand out in some way, right? Outstanding, right? You stand out in some way. How is it that each of you is going to stand out in some way? So you have this 4 years now to think about that. You thought you stood out when you got an AEEE rank. You thought you stood out when you got a JEE a mark and rank from there, and that enabled you to come here today. But if you look around, every single person here is an outstanding person then. They've all done that. They've all done what you've done, right? Your neighbors now, you look at them, they're all outstanding. They're all very good. They've done well academically, and that's why they've come here today and joined a top institution. Now what do? How do you stand out? Now think about it. Right now you're sort of working with each other, competing with each other maybe. But when you graduate, are you going to compete only with these people? Absolutely not. There's going to be maybe 100 times more people at that time. So how is it that you're going to stand out? And this makes a huge difference, because that's that last part, right? You've done the connections. But what are you going to show to the connect now? So you're saying, please, do you remember we connected? And then what? Right? There must be like a pull model, not a push model. You shouldn't have to sell yourself. They should pull you because you're outstanding. So how is it that you can do that? And that's where you must have the focus. There must be a focus. So I thought I'll just talk a little bit about a couple of things, and one which is sort of my own life journey. Maybe there will be of something of value when I talk about it. And second thing is about the branches, and just a follow-up to what my friend Shivri said, that about the life outside of IT, because that's what you're looking at, right? And you might be very tempted, and your parents also might be very tempted, that there might be a thought, oh, my son couldn't get into computer science, so I've put him in electrical, I've put him in robotics, I've put him in mechanical, or her in all of these. There could be something like that, right? But what is the danger of that? What is the danger of doing something like that? Because there is a foundation upon which a building is constructed. Now, supposing your foundation is a sense of dissatisfaction, that I settled for less. What can you build on that foundation which lacks strength, which lacks confidence? It cannot be like that. So you must know the value and importance of what you have taken today. Now it is no longer about why you chose, but the fact that you are here. Erase that past, the logic, whatever reasons there may have been for you to be here. But now, what is the foundation you're going to erect now? How are you going to build on that? So that foundation must be 100% strong, where you say, now the future is going to be because I have embraced this 100%. If I have taken mechanical engineering, I embrace it with all my soul, with all my spirit, with all my heart. If I've taken ELC, the same. If I've taken robotics and AI, if I've taken electrical engineering, I embrace it 100% with no thought about why, what happened in the past, nothing, right? Now, in this regard, I should tell you this, to state the obvious, ants live on land, fish live in water. But just think about this, when there are floods, the fish eat ants. When there is a drought, the ants eat the fish. Nature is always cyclical. Always cyclical. 10 years ago, I remember there was always this big clamor of the toppers of AEEE exams preferring for mechanical engineering. Mechanical engineering, not AI, not CSE. This is a cycle. One day it's electronics, one day it's electrical. It just cycles. It does not matter, right? Finally, you look at all the people who do mechanical engineering, all the people who do sociology, life science, it doesn't matter. All the people who got AEEE top ranks versus those who did not get top ranks. Can you say that the salaries of the people who graduated is exactly in the same sequence as the AEEE ranks or JEE ranks? Absolutely not. It depends on what you are putting in now, right? These next 4 years, what is your investment? It depends on that. In my own family, I am number 5 out of 6 children. I can probably say with complete conviction, I can say that I seem to be the least accomplished. If I look at the talent they have in many different fields, so I am the only engineer in the family. And I seem to be the least accomplished. There are people who have done remarkable things, and none of them is an engineer. So now that stereotype has to be broken. There's no sense in having pride because of a particular degree or a particular branch. The pride comes when you know that you have competencies, skills, knowledge, when you have good character. It comes from that. So now over the next 4 years, Amrita is a place with an ecosystem designed to help you to become self-aware, to know how is it that I can build up my competencies, how I can develop my skills, how I can increase my knowledge, and how I can refine my character. I remember long back I had gone to a conference in Mumbai. So it was primarily all industries who had come. Very few universities or academicians were represented there. So I was just having a tea time chat with some people. There was one CEO of a very big polymer company who was there. And so in the course of the conversation, I got to know that they were hiring for the past 5 years, this was long back, from Amrita University, polymer engineers. And he said, hey Sriram, you know what, there's a big difference between the engineers we take from Amrita and the engineers we take from IIT. He said, the IIT graduates, from day one, they want to tell us what to do. And the Amrita engineers, from day one, they get along with everyone. And so that's why we continue taking people from Amrita. So now you see the CEO of a company who is looking at not just the degree, not the CGPA, but look at what he's looking at. So a place like this is going to help you develop in a holistic way, in an all-round way. That is what it's for. So now you have your mission cut out for you. You're going to make the connections, but when you actually try to make use of the connect in future, are you going to be ready? Do you have substance in you? Can you really speak with confidence that you have a unique set of skills, talents, competencies, and a good character, which then convinces that person that you are outstanding? So make use of that. So there could be all kinds of facilities in the world. But if you don't know how to make use of that to build these things, the character, the skills, competencies, then what use is it? So that's where you have to focus now in the next few years. With this, I just want to add a couple of things. One, a little bit about my personal journey, which might be of use to you. But the second thing is, when you have all these, you may be tempted to become a little bit complacent. When you have a lot of facilities, you may tend to become a little bit complacent. How is it that we can avoid that? So there is a very perhaps cliched saying, step out of your comfort zone. I think many people have said that, and many people are going to say it. But what's the big deal about it, right? Why? Why should we step out of the comfort zone? And what prevents us from stepping out of the comfort zone? So I had mentioned something like this yesterday as well. I'm just going to repeat it. You all heard about the 3 monkeys. And Gandhiji used to be talking a lot about this. So you have the 3 monkeys. One says, see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. So today we have a 4th monkey. And that monkey, it's not talking about evil. It just says, see nothing, hear nothing, speak nothing. And it just looks like this. That is the 4th monkey. And it actually ends up a little bit different after a while. Right. So if I have to think about what comes in the way of me adding substance to myself, I think this could be a prime reason. And it happens in a very osmotic way, without us realizing it. There's one big difference if you think about the diseases that are infectious versus lifestyle diseases. So let me try to interact and get some idea about the difference between the two. What's an example of an infectious disease? Should be an easy one. Fever, what else? Common cold. Something that happened a few years ago, very big. COVID, yes. So these are all infectious diseases. Suddenly it's there, suddenly it's gone. But you know about it. How do you know about it? The symptoms are there, very easy, right? So with all these infectious diseases, malaria, tuberculosis, jaundice, symptoms are very clear. So you start sneezing, chances are next day you're going to have a cold. Very, very common. But what about lifestyle diseases? Does anyone know an example of that? Diabetes, very good answer. So diabetes. Now, what does it actually mean? What's diabetes? What happens there? Now, do you get symptoms suddenly, or is there a build-up over this? So you see, if somebody is developing this problem, the chances are for years together, they have not had much cardio activity. For years together, physical activity has been less. For years together, diet has been poor. For years together, stress has been very high. For years together, healthy habits are not there. But all those years, there was absolutely no symptom. We were fine. We were just fine. Right? No sign at all of any danger. And then suddenly one day you are diagnosed. And it's completely irreversible. Right? So, I'm saying this is a reason why we cannot afford to be complacent. Because this lifestyle disease is on the physical body. But what about for our career, for our life's aspirations? There could be lifestyle diseases equally bad that impact. Like this. So how is it that we prevent ourselves? And that's where this other part comes in. As cliched as it might be, stepping out of your comfort zone can be extremely, extremely important. Now, just a little bit about the life journey, and then I'll stop after that. So I remember when I was in my 3rd standard school, I was there, and there was a lunchtime interval, recess. So I was sitting there having my lunch along with a few classmates. So one of my earliest memories, because I think 3rd standard is a little difficult to remember. But so anyway, so then in the front of the classroom near the blackboard, 2 teachers were there. They were sitting at the teacher's desk and they were eating lunch also. And then they pointed to me, and then the one teacher told the other, இந்த குழந்தை சரியான தத்தியா இருக்கு, எப்படி உருப்பட போறதோ தெரியாது. So for that's in Tamil language, and for others, let me just translate. So one teacher told the other, pointing to me, this child seems to be a complete dud. So I don't know how he is ever going to come up in life. Okay. So now they were referring to this because I was apparently during that time, and I also remember I was not doing well in mathematics. And today I am standing before you with a degree in statistics. So first thing is, at that stage, perhaps God made me a tube light, and the words of the teacher didn't really affect me that much. I was just, okay, teacher is saying something, and you carry on. It was like that. But you see, the comments of others, what do you do with those comments? It makes a huge difference in your life. The first thing is, that could have actually been taken in a different way by me to say, stay clear of mathematics, right? That could have been a message. But you see, I continued, then I switched to a different school, Ramakrishna Vidyalaya. And at that time, I remember there was a change from Telugu to Sanskrit over there. The first test, I failed in Sanskrit. I got like 3 out of 10 or something like that. But after that, every other test I had the highest marks in Sanskrit. And I used to always not do well in mathematics. And then still, in spite of that, I used to get 2nd rank in the class. The math used to kind of pull me down a little bit. Now, those days, the family was going through a lot of hardship, financial difficulties, and so on. So there were phases when we had to stay at home because we couldn't pay the fees. And thanks to my parents, who were always very, very bright and cheerful. It never affected us. If we had to stay at home, that was the way it was, and we accepted it. But two of my teachers at that time, when I was in 8th standard, they decided that this child needed some support. So they pitched in with their own money and established a scholarship just for me. And so for those 3 years, 8th, 9th and 10th, I continued with that scholarship. And as it turned out, after that 8th standard, I've never paid fees in my entire life. So it just happened like that. So first of all, there was this lack of comfort. So Sanskrit, stepping outside the comfort zone. But because I proved myself there, the teachers felt encouraged with the effort that was there. Encouraged enough to establish fees. So encouraged that I was able to continue my studies. So encouraged that I did well in my +2 and got a government scholarship. So encouraged that I got a scholarship in my B.Tech. And so encouraged that I got a scholarship for my master's and PhD. Each time there was a stepping out of the comfort zone. In my 10th standard, I was the second batch coming out of that school. And after 10th, there was nothing. There was no 11th and 12th in that school, so I had to leave. Now, I was always very good with biology, good with drawing, but for some strange reason, I decided to stay with mathematics, even though I was not doing well in mathematics. And somehow it happened that while I was preparing for JEE and the engineering entrance exam and all that, I developed an interest in quadratic equations. Not in the whole of mathematics, just in terms of quadratic equations. Somehow that caught my fancy. But from that it slowly started, an interest in mathematics started. And because I had done this, I went to a state school, a state syllabus school, where I also benefited from having French. And because of this, I did extremely well and got a scholarship because of this for the entire B.Tech. Now, after B.Tech, then at that time, I remember there was no internet, nothing. At that time, also, I remember we had this one Fortran course, coding, programming, and we had no computer. I had never seen a computer till the time I went to the US. All through my B.Tech, even though Fortran programming was there was no computer. I never even saw one, leave alone touch or work with one. So then I found out from the seniors that normally a lot of our seniors, they were applying for US universities and all that. So I thought I would also apply. And then my parents told me, how is this possible? We are barely existing hand to mouth. There's no possibility of affording all this. Then I asked my seniors and they said, no, there's a stipend that the university will give you. It will be more than enough. You don't have to spend any money. So I said, okay. But then so I applied, and out of 8 universities that I'd applied to, I got a full scholarship from 6 of them. So then with that assurance, I went to my parents and then they said, okay. But then later we found out that a plane ticket at that time, in those days, it was one-way plane ticket, was 35,000 rupees from Hyderabad to the US. And there was no way we could afford that kind of an expense. So then I thought, okay, that's the end of it. I'll apply for some jobs in India. Then my elder brother's friend, he suggested a solution. He said, for 500 rupees, you can get an LIC policy. And against that policy, you can get a loan for 50,000 rupees. So this was a solution and it worked. So we got a policy for 500 rupees, got a loan for 50,000 rupees, 35,000 rupees for the plane ticket, another 15,000 rupees converted. Those days, it was 15 rupees for a dollar, for a US dollar. And we got $1,000 for it. And with that, I set out. And from the time I arrived in the US, from the second month, I was sending money home. There was that much available. So now you see, each time there is a stepping out of the comfort zone, but there is a reward that life gives you for stepping out of the comfort zone. When I went to the US, I intended to do research in polymer engineering, polymer science. And then I chose Iowa State because it was known for this. But when I went there, I found that the professor who was supposed to guide me, he said, I'm sorry, Sriram, I'm taking a break for 4 years. I'm going to set up a new lab. I'm not going to be able to guide you. So please find somebody else. And as it turned out, always a step of stepping out of the comfort zone, it had its reward. So I was supposed to talk to the other faculty and decide who would be my guide. So I spoke to several of them, and then one person that I spoke to, he had just joined. This was his first experience as a faculty. He had never been a faculty, he was an industry person. This was his first job. So I spoke to him and I spoke to several others, but I chose this person. Actually he was an ex-football player, 6 foot 4 inches tall, black American. And then when I selected him, my friends made fun of me. He said, what are you doing? You know, first of all, he's into some weird statistics and all that. He's not even into proper chemical engineering. There are so many established people. Why are you choosing somebody totally unknown? He's new in this area, new to being a faculty. Why are you taking him? I just felt this is how I felt comfortable. So I said, okay, go ahead. But nobody was in favor of this. So in that sense, there was a stepping out of the comfort zone because it was not familiar. It was not established. It was not traditional. So I said, okay. Then I signed up. And then at some point of time, now I found that in order to do my research, I would have to take a lot of courses in statistics. And it was tough because I was sitting in a class with people who had a bachelor's and a master's in statistics. And there were people from ISI, Indian Statistical Institute in Kolkata. I don't know if you know about them. They have some of the most brilliant minds, like these people who graduate from there. So I was struggling like anything. Then I somehow managed to finish the master's. Then my advisor said, hey, listen, I think for your future, it will be good if you do a dual degree. Iowa State has this provision. You'll have to take the qualifying exam in both branches. You'll have 2 guides. You'll have 5 doctoral committee members, but it'll be worth it. And you have to take the qualifying exam in statistics and in chemical engineering and so on. I said, okay. So I didn't know what I was in for, but I said, okay. And then I remember one day he came and told me, hey, Sriram, listen, I find that out of the 9 students that I'm guiding, 7 of them failed this qualifying exam in the statistics department. So I'm going to make a deal with you. I'll give you 3 months where you don't have to do any work, but you'll still be given the stipend, but you just sit and study and you clear the exam. Because otherwise it's becoming a headache for me. I have to go and defend that these students are good in research. Please take them even though the qualifying exam was not cleared and all that. He said, I don't want to go through that again. You just pass the exam. Now this exam is for 2 days, 8 hours each day, closed book, no lunch break, no tea break, nothing. Just sit and write for 8 hours, 2 days like this. Now imagine. And apparently people used to faint during the exam also. But then, so after I heard this, I was thinking, what did I sign myself in for? So then my Indian friends over there, the ISI brilliant minds, they told me, hey, don't worry, Indians do well in this. So I said, okay, let me give it a shot. So 3 months I studied, exam was over. I didn't really have much confidence because I thought all these people are coming in with a bachelor's and master's in statistics. I don't have any such background. Anyway, and then about 3-4 weeks later, just casually, my guide, Derek Rollins is his name, he said, hey Sriram, congrats, you passed. And that was it. There was no fuss about it, nothing. But he was just very, very relieved that he didn't have to go through a lot of hassle. Now, I was just remembering all this, that starting from the point where a teacher said, you're such a dud that you cannot, I don't know how you can come up in life, from that to this. I think there's a lot of opportunities life will create for you where it will look like a challenge, it will look very uncomfortable, it will be a source of discomfort. But that's where, if you are able to step out of your comfort zone and embrace that fully, definitely each time, each and every time, it gives a reward. Each time it's a progression, not an incremental progression, but a huge revolutionary progression. So when I look back, and so many times it has benefited me, even when I was applying for my green card. Because of this background, it was extremely easy. Many of my friends struggled, but it was extremely easy for me because of this background. So after that, whenever I went, even during times of recession, I found that in 1 month I could get a job where the locals were struggling for a whole year to get a job. So you see, each time, that stepping out of the comfort zone, that now you have an opportunity in these next 4 years. If you can do this, then there will be no looking back after that. So hope these words have been of some use, and hope you can take this up and put it into action in these next years. With that said, looking forward to interacting with you a lot during these coming years. I'll be very happy to interact and guide in whatever way I can. Otherwise, just to have the pleasure of knowing you. And we have an excellent set of faculty here, very highly qualified, very enthusiastic about the teaching and the research. I have no doubt that you'll have a pleasant and productive experience. So make use of that, and 4 years down the road, when I see you, I hope that I'll be able to see the smile of contentment that our chief guest talked about. Wishing you all the very best. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir. Some speakers inform, some inspire, but sir, you weave both of them. Thank you so much for that absolutely delightful and insightful address. Thank you, sir, for letting the new family members of the magnitude of Amrita and how magnificent is Amrita. Sir shines spotlight on standing out, and focus is the key. Sir emphasizes on embracing and ruling the world of foundational core engineering. Sir underlines on making the best of the opportunities available. Healthy habits for the aspirations is another facet Sir touches upon. Sir says, step out from your comfort zone because that will bring your true strength out. Sir, your life by itself is the greatest teacher. Stepping out of comfort zone and every decision we take adds meaning to our own narrative. Thank you very much, sir. With that inspiring talk, we move to our next speaker, our beloved Principal, School of Computing and School of AI, Dr. E.A. Gopalakrishnan. A name synonymous with excellence in artificial intelligence and complex systems, Dr. Gopalakrishnan leads two of the most dynamic schools at Amrita's Bangalore campus. A proud alumnus of IIT Madras, where he earned his PhD, Dr. Gopalakrishnan has since carved an indelible mark in academia and research. His scholarly work has graced some of the most reputed international journals, including Nature's Scientific Reports, Journal of Fluid Mechanics, Chaos, Physical Review, IEEE Transactions, Engineering Applications of Artificial Intelligence, and Soft Computing. And speaking of impact, his deep learning-based model for stock price prediction hasn't just made waves, it has made history. Cited over 1,000 times globally, it continues to influence research and real-world financial modeling to this day. But research is just one facet of his brilliance. Dr. Gopalakrishnan is also the architect of future-ready education. He played a pioneering role in designing some of the Amrita's most sought-after programs, the B.Tech CSE AI, AI and Data Science, and M.Tech in Data Science. These curricula are crafted not just for today's industry needs, but for tomorrow's possibilities. He also has been at the forefront of securing major research grants from prestigious bodies like DST, DRDO, and ICMR, leading cutting-edge projects in AI for healthcare and AI for sustainable energy. Recognizing his authority and depth in the field, the Department of Telecom, Government of India, appointed him to a national working group for defining standards to assess the robustness of AI systems, a key step in ensuring responsible and ethical AI deployment. Dr. Gopalakrishnan's research spans a wide canvas, from AI and data-driven modeling to mathematical and complex systems. But his current mission is clear and compelling: to build trustworthy, robust, and ethical AI frameworks that can perform reliably in high-stakes, real-world applications. A passionate educator, an innovative researcher, and a humble visionary, Dr. Gopalakrishnan is not just shaping what we learn, he's shaping who we become as learners, creators, and future change makers. With great admiration and anticipation, let us welcome the person who leads minds and inspires mission. Sir.
Om Amriteshwari Namaha. My humble pranams at the sacred lotus feet of my Sadguru, our Chancellor, Mata Amritanandamayi Devi, whom we lovingly call as Amma. My reverential salutations to our chief guest, Dr. Shivramani, our director, Dr. Manoj, Principal School of Engineering, Professor Sriram Devanathan, Chairperson, Department of EEE, Professor Vidya, Vice Chairpersons from Department of Mechanical Engineering and Department of EEE, Professor Rajiv Lochana and Professor Ram Prabhagar. And also to my faculty colleagues here. And a hearty welcome to all the students and proud parents. And my congratulations to all of you for enrolling yourself in one of the India's leading private university. Now before I begin, yesterday my vice chair was asking me, why are you having a paper? So I will start with that. So the reason why I have a paper is I will start with what our chancellor used to tell. Our chancellor, like Amma, if at all you have heard her, she is very well known for her very interesting short bit stories. So she tells in one of such stories, meeting each other, and when students are meeting each other, maybe they are not students of this era, maybe some other era, because these two students are bragging about their professors, so which may not happen, right? So usually you may complain about your teachers, but here they are bragging about their professors. And one student is telling that, do you know my professor, you just give him a topic, he will talk about any topic under the sun, no matter whether it is from politics or whether it is from music or whether it is from science, engineering. Then the other student immediately replies, it's no wonder my professor talks, even when you don't give anything, he talks for 24 hours. So just to keep myself away from such a crime and also not to invoke the fourth monkey in you, I am confining myself with a piece of paper. Okay. So Sriram sir was giving a beautiful example of the cyclic changes that we observe in nature. That is when the flood happens and when the drought happens, how the ecosystem is changing. Now, what is there in future? The future is, there is another example in nature, which we call in biology as symbiosis. That means if you are reading about, you are, say, many of you are youngsters, so you may be very much interested in keeping a very healthy lifestyle. So one of the tips that many doctors give you is to maintain your gut health. So what do you mean by maintaining your gut health is, there are millions of gut bacteria, and these gut bacteria can influence your thinking, can influence the way in which your metabolism is planned, and all that. So actually it is very interesting to see whether we are housing these millions of gut bacteria. Like, is it like the gut bacteria is thinking that I am living in someone, or is it like we are using the gut bacteria, whether the gut bacteria is using us or we are using the gut bacteria. And this type of relationships is called as the symbiotic relationship. And I think that's where we are heading to now. So the world is becoming increasingly interdisciplinary. So when it becomes more and more interdisciplinary, it is not about competition, it is more about collaboration, right? So at this juncture, about your choice of branch, I don't know how many of you follow the NVIDIA CEO. So, Mr. Huang. So, if you follow him in either, or if you follow his tweets or Instagram post, somebody asked him recently, if you are going to be given another chance to pursue your UG, which branch you will choose? Because nowadays you have a huge choices available. Then his reply was very interesting. So he told, I will choose a branch which will focus on physics and mathematics, and which will also give me some expertise, experience in hardware. So here when I stand before you, I am reminded of these 4 branches when I see mechanical, EEE, ELC and RAI. I feel like standing before a great banyan tree. What is the speciality of the banyan tree? The banyan tree has very deep roots. So your mechanical and electrical engineering, they are the most, I would say the longest surviving engineering branches, mechanical being the very first branch of engineering, and electrical being the second or third, that just following civil. And now the other 2, the robotics and artificial intelligence, as well as ELC, they are the shoots of this banyan tree, the newest, the most novel branches that have been added. Now, what is the strength of a banyan tree? The strength of a banyan tree is it is able to be rooted very firmly. At the same time, it is able to adapt and it is able to give new shoots. So, what is the most important quality that you need to develop as a student now? One thing is, the first and foremost I will say, it is adaptability. Because if you remember the name Charles Darwin, which you might have seen in your high school science textbooks, and there is a very famous statement that is attributed to Darwin, it is not the most intelligent, it is not the most strong species that survives, it is the species that adapts will survive to its environment. And Sriram sir was very beautifully depicting the benefits of going out of your comfort zone, and he was giving his own example, which is really, really inspiring. Now, there is something else is happening here, like in sense, something that is very similar to that is happening all over the world. It is happening. Even if you decide not to step out of your comfort zone, the whole world is pushed out of its comfort zone because of a disruptor called artificial intelligence. If you ever think that you can learn for 4 years, rest of the life, you can remain happy for 40 years, those days are gone. You can learn for 4 years, maybe 4 days you will be peaceful, then the 5th day there will be a new technology that will come which you have to learn. Then after 4 hours again another new technology will come. So going out of comfort zone is no more a choice, but it is mandatory. It is going to happen. Whether you like it or not, you are going to be pushed out of your comfort zone. And when you are pushed out of your comfort zone, you have 2 choices available. You might have heard a term in English which is called as the ostrich mentality. So when an ostrich is being attacked, what it does is that it never runs. Instead of that, it just goes, it puts its head below the sand. So it is not seeing the enemy. So the advantage is like when you are pushed out of comfort zone, one thing that you can think of is, nothing is going to happen to me, world is static, everything will not change, I will have my day. That is one attitude. The other attitude is to adapt, other attitude is to change. Now why the NVIDIA CEO told that physics and mathematics are the most important things that he wishes to pursue? It was not without a reason. If you see this AI revolution that is happening, it started with what is known as perception AI. Perception AI in the sense, initially we used AI for perceiving things. That means it is for image processing, it is for signal processing and all that. Then that AI wave moved to what is known as generative AI. So that is what your most beloved friend during your exams or otherwise, which is your all LLMs, which can be ChatGPT, Grok, or anything, or your whatever Perplexity, which if you have a subscription for 1 year, or Gemini, whatever you name it. So that is generative AI. Now, actually, that is old news. If you think that generative AI is the superhero, now you are like thinking like your parents and maybe like our generation, for whom the superstar is still Rajinikanth, right? So he is no more a superstar, right? He is a superstar for the old generation. There are so many other superstars have come, although he retains his fan bases. Now, the next wave that has come already is called as reasoning AI. That means you want AI systems which can reason out. That is the current trend. That is where the people are now doing research on. Now, what is going to be the future of AI? The future of the disruptor, because you should know who is disrupting you, you should know what he or she is going to do next. The future of AI is going to be what is known as physical AI, or otherwise it is known as embodied intelligence. That means you need to create physical systems that embody intelligence. And who is going to create these physical systems? Those who are sitting before me, you are all going to contribute towards creation of this physical system. Maybe you are a mechanical engineer, or you are an electrical engineer, or you are an electrical and computer engineer, or if you are robotics and artificial engineer, you are going to do this, or you are going to lead this next wave of disruption, which is called as the embodied AI or the physical AI revolution. And for doing that, what you should do? The most important aspect is, many of you might have seen the movie on Batman, the Batman series. Okay, so you must understand, you can guess to which boomer generation I belong to when I refer to Batman. So the Batman movie, if you see the Batman movie, there is a second movie in the Batman series, which is I think the Dark Knight, and there is the Joker, the famous character. Now, you have two options. The entire Gotham City was believing that Batman is the villain in the second movie. Finally, they realized that he is the hero and the Joker was the villain. So you must realize that whether AI is a villain, whether you view AI as a villain, or you view AI as a friend, AI as a hero who is going to enable you, who is going to increase your potential. That choice is completely with you. So you can learn mechanical engineering, you can learn electrical engineering, because these are the fundamental core engineering branches which are going to contribute towards what I called as physical AI. But how should you learn? If you learn your mechanical engineering with a 1970s textbook with a yellow notebook, which has never changed for the last 25 years, or if you learn your electrical engineering with your grandfather's electrical engineering, introduction to electrical engineering textbook, then you are in danger. Because then you are rated as the ostrich mentality, because you are thinking that the whole world is changing, nothing will change, 1 + 1 is 2 even now, so nothing is going to happen to me. But you are wrong. Something very serious will happen to you. That's why many people say, there is a very famous phrase. They say, AI may not replace you, people who know AI may replace you. So it is not an AI engineer who is going to take away your job. It is going to be a mechanical engineer who studied AI will take away the job of a mechanical engineer who is reluctant to study AI. Similarly, an electrical engineer with the knowledge of AI will take away the job of an electrical engineer who is never ever ready to study AI. So it is about your openness to new technology. So I suggest that you should be adaptable, you should be taking up this new technology with an open heart, and that is a mandatory condition. It is no more a choice for you. It is a mandatory condition for you to actually excel. Now, how Amrita helps you in this? How Amrita helps you to change this, or to adapt to these changes? Because you know the world is ever changing, and you don't know what is going to be the technology 10 years from now. Nobody can predict. So if they say that if somebody predicts what is going to happen, don't believe them, because mostly they are going to be wrong, right? So what is going to be your fundamental skill? Fundamental skill, as our director told, it is to learn or how to learn. And also there is an additional skill which is called as unlearning. So you should also learn how to unlearn. So you should learn and unlearn. And the third thing I will tell you, you should always ask yourself, why I am learning, what I am learning. So if you are sitting in any class, you should have the liberty to ask your professor, why are you teaching this particular topic to me? So there should be a clear explanation from the professor, why are you learning, what are you learning? And you should have that inquisitiveness which will keep the fourth monkey away. And to conclude my talk, the most important contribution that Amrita can provide you is training your mind. That is, you can have different situations can change, your external circumstances can change. So how do you tune yourself to this ever-changing external circumstances? That is only by becoming the master of your mind. So we have a course in fact called as Mastery Over Mind. So which is called as Ma-Om, and which will be dealt by your induction chairperson, who also happens to be the Amrita Darshanam, head of the Amrita Darshanam department or our School of Spiritual Studies. So I urge all of you or request all of you to explore Amrita's potential to make you adaptable, Amrita's potential to train you in some of the skills which are very, very, say, unique to our country. And these are here in Amrita because of our Chancellor, because we have a very, very unique Chancellor. So I say this to every student, because this is the only university where a student can go and meet the Chancellor, because there are institutions where you can't even meet your HOD. But this is an institution wherein if you are ready, you can go and meet the Chancellor and you can talk about your engineering mechanics, introduction to electrical engineering subjects not being taught properly. I don't think that it will be like that. They will teach very, very nicely. That's a different thing. But if at all it happens, you can go and tell, because I have experienced it. It's not that I have taught something badly and somebody has gone to her, but I have seen people going there and discussing with her the examples that I have told in some of the classes. So such a unique Chancellor you have, and we are all inspired by her vision and her mission. I pray to Amma very sincerely that she should make your stay here extremely joyful and extremely fruitful. So stay connected with all your friends across branches, break the silos of the branches. All the very best. Thank you, and Namah Shivaya.
Thank you, sir, for that insightful address. To all our students from mechanical, RAE and electrical, what we just heard isn't just a vision for the future. It's a reminder of your role in shaping it. Sir spoke of symbiosis, collaboration and adaptability. These aren't just words. They are skills, whether you're designing a smart robotic arm, an efficient motor or AI embedded system. The real power lies in blending core engineering with intelligent adaptability. This is the age where machines learn, systems evolve, and disciplines converge. And you, our students, are right at the center of it. Let's stay open, curious, and collaborative. Thank you, sir, once again. Next segment of today's program is to pledge, a pledge intended to foster a spirit. The next talk is of our chairperson of EEE department, Dr. Vidya.
Ma'am, let me take a couple of moments to introduce you, please. Thank you, ma'am. I'm delightful to take a couple of moments to introduce a dynamic academic leader, a dedicated researcher, and an inspiring mentor, Dr. Vidyapeetham, Chairperson and Professor, Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, School of Engineering, Bangalore campus. Dr. Vidyapeetham is a distinguished academician with over 26 years of teaching, 21 years of research, and close to a decade in academic leadership. A first rank holder in M.Tech computer applications in industrial drives from VTU, she has shaped generations of engineers across leading institutions in Karnataka before joining Amrita Bengaluru. An expert in power quality, real-time systems, and DSP applications, she has guided 7 PhD scholars and currently mentors 7 more. Her VTU-funded project on real-time detection of power quality disturbances highlights her cutting-edge contributions. A senior member of IEEE and fellow of IEI, she serves on editorial boards, reviews for IEEE Access, and is a BIS Young Professional Member TED 11. A passionate educator, prolific researcher, and respected leader, Dr. Vidya continues to inspire excellence in engineering, education, and beyond. Ma'am, may I request you to please address the gathered.
Thank you, ma'am. Namaskar. My humble pranams to lotus feet of Amma. Happy morning to one and all present here. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome new students of electrical and electronics engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical and computer engineering, robotics and artificial intelligence students. These are the budding engineers to our Amrita family. This is a significant milestone, making the beginning of your journey into the world of engineering. To make you good engineer, here so many teams are working together. First of all, the management is very good and generous to create all the facilities. So then, role of the department, if you are considering, we have state-of-the-art laboratories, both with respect to academics and research. Both the departments, Department of Electrical Engineering and Department of Mechanical Engineering. And we both have well-qualified teaching fraternity. And then our teachers are teaching 40% core subjects because it is designed in the curriculum like this. Almost 40% core subjects, 20 to 30% control, automation and embedded systems, 20 to 30% computer technologies. All our faculties are well experienced with these. And we are training with respect to that industry requirement. Both the departments are having industry collaborated labs from central government and state government. We are training the students to meet the industrial societal needs. And next we'll come to the role of students. So we will take care from the management side and the department side. We will take care of you nicely and we will give all the facilities. We will train you to the best. Now, what is the role of students? First of all, you have to love and like the subjects and department what exactly you have already admitted to. So, next, when you are going to consider this, how exactly, when you are thinking, how exactly I am going to become a good engineer, some of the parameters and principles you have to follow. So, I have listed what I have adopted in my life. That is, the first thing is hard work. The second one is time management. Next is professional ethics and integrity. Okay? And make a good friends. If they are going in the wrong way, you make them to come to the good path. So, as everybody mentioned, I have also not come from the luxurious life. I didn't born with the golden spoon. I have born in agriculturist family in the remote village. So now I am sitting with all the dynamic personality. I am very happy for that. So what exactly makes this? So this is what this you have to think about how exactly you have to build your personal and professional attitudes. Okay. So when you are going to consider these professional attitudes, you adopt all these parameters what exactly I have mentioned, and also you should have that good network. Improve your CAR department is going to help you from first semester to final semester. So improve your communication skills, improve your leadership and professional attitudes. So these are the roles of student. Now, I will come to parents. Parents are also have some roles to play. Always be friendly with your wards because they have to share whatever they have in their mind. Otherwise, they can't. They will adopt or addict to some bad habits. Okay. Please be friend with the students or your wards. And then always be in touch with the faculty advisors. They are like these local guardians for the students here. Always you inquire that the progress of your ward with the faculty advisor. So we are facilitating, and the one more department is there to take care of the placement, that is corporate and industry relationship. So for them, the students, first of all, you have to concentrate in your studies and you should be eligible for placement. So what is this eligibility criteria? Actually, you have to maintain minimum 7 to 8 CGPA in the curriculum. Okay, from first semester to 8th semester, your score should be at least minimum 7 to 8 CGPA. Then they are going to take care of the placement. For the placement, not only CGPA, your communication skills have to be improved. And then the Amrita Darshanam team will be there to teach you and guide you with respect to the life skills. So the department is headed by Dr. Manish. We are facilitating plenty of opportunities to grow you. The future of engineering is innovative, rests on your shoulders. All of us know that. We are confident that you will make us proud. Once again, I welcome all of you to our Amrita family. Be comfortable, and also always we will be available to you to discuss about your personal and professional things in the campus. The first contact to you is faculty advisor. Then if they are not going to solve the problem directly, they will come to the HODs. All the HODs and also including principal and director sir will be available for your problems. Okay, thank you very much. So hearty welcome to our Amrita family. All the best.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, your speech was not mere words. You gave us a spark. In fact, I think she conducted energy across the hall, quite fitting from the head department of Tripoli. And now we know which department has the most voltage. Thank you, ma'am. And ma'am emphasized on hard working and integrity. And she just not only introduced the Tripoli department, but also the entire spirit of Amrita. It's cutting edge research, world-class laboratories, passionate faculty, and the incredible opportunities waiting for the curious and committed minds. Thank you once again, ma'am. Thank you very much. I invite Pooja to please take over.
Thank you, ma'am. Next segment of today's program is to pledge. A pledge intended to foster a spirit of pride and responsibility in the course of your engineering studies and eventually to become a responsible engineer and as well as a citizen. For the same, may I invite our principal, School of Engineering, Professor Sriram Devanathan.
Before I do the pledge, I just wanted to add that earlier I had spoken to you wearing the hat of the principal of School of Engineering. I also want to now just take a couple of minutes to address you as the head of the mechanical engineering department as well, because I thought that way the students who are either in the B.Tech mechanical engineering or from the B.Tech robotics and AI engineering may also become familiar with the same. So this is a campus which has a strategic advantage being in an industry hub, the city of Bangalore. And for those of you who are in these branches, the 4 branches that are present here today, that strategic advantage, my dear students, is something very significant. Other campus students would be jealous of you in this regard. This close proximity that is there to all the industries. And I would strongly urge you to make use of the special advantage that you have. Now, what about the department? Does it take advantage of this? Answer is absolutely yes. There are industry ties, industry projects. We do consulting for the industry. We provide a lot of connections for the students to undertake internships in the industries, to conduct industry projects. We invite the industries to visit our campus. These activities go on in parallel with all your curricular activities. There is also every effort to give you a hands-on experience even within the campus, such as with the availability of a makerspace and well-equipped laboratories with the state-of-the-art facilities. So whether you are in the robotics and AI or in mechanical or ELC or in EEE, you will get to know about these laboratories, the teaching labs as well as the research labs. There are several research labs. Even from first year, you are most welcome to work with the faculty on these research labs. In fact, I've seen many top industry executives are very, very surprised when we tell them that we have undergraduate students publishing papers in top journals. This is not very common, not just in India, even outside. And so you are in a special spot with special privileges and advantages. And so this combination, which is the academic excellence and the industry partnership, I think you should definitely make use of. So you are in good hands in that regard. Having said that, now we move to the next segment, which is the pledge. It is part of the Amrita culture. And please again treat this as a lovely foundation for our holistic education. So I request only the students to please stand up. So I request you to please repeat the words of the pledge each time. After a few words, I will pause for you. And for this, I request you to raise your right arm parallel to the ground right in front of you and then repeat after me. May I freely and fully commit myself to my academic studies, my personal growth, and the noble values of this institution, Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham. I pledge wholeheartedly to apply myself to the mastery of the academic knowledge that I am about to receive and to seek within the self knowledge that brings true wisdom. I will strive to cultivate the enduring, sustaining qualities like humility and compassion that develop mature judgment and discrimination. May the application of knowledge expressed through all my actions always reflect honor upon myself, my family, this institution, and my country. This pledge I take freely before this assembly, the supreme witness within, and our founder, Holy Mother Mata Amritanandamayi Devi, who has blessed and offered this institution for the benefit of humanity. Thank you. You may please sit.
Thank you, sir. On behalf of everyone in Amrita family, as a token of appreciation, gratitude and goodwill, may I request our director to present a memento to our chief guest, Mr. Narahari, and I request to our chief guest, Mr. Shiv Venkatramani, I request that Dr. Shivram and Dr. Vidya ma'am to please join. Thank you, Dr. Shiv Venkatramana. It was a very good speech, actually. I personally really liked it, and the way you take over the whole crowd and your presence is quite impactful. With telling that any program is incomplete without acknowledging the minds and hands and hearts of each and every one whose sincere effort has shown light in the form of this program. To formally thank everyone, I invite Orientation Program Coordinator, Dr. Manish Rajan Walvekar.
Namaskar. As introduced, I am Dr. Manish Walvekar, the chairperson of Amrita Darshanam, the department that holds aloft the torch of the Indian knowledge system, that is IKS at our university. I also stand before you wearing another cap as the campus lead for the inauguration program commencement and also the upcoming induction program for this remarkable academic journey. As we draw the curtains on the inaugural ceremony for the 2025 B.Tech, EEE, ELC, Mechanical and RAE batches, it is my privilege and joy to deliver the vote of thanks and offering of gratitude to all who made this occasion luminous. First and foremost, my deepest pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Amma, whose grace flows through every moment of this event. If I may borrow from the language of grammar, she is the karta, doer, karma, object, and kriyapada, verb of this entire institution. We are merely instruments of her will, moved by her compassion and guided by her vision. To our esteemed chief guest, Dr. Shiv Venkatramani, sir, thank you so much for an address that was not just a lecture, but a stirring journey. Your words did not merely inform, they ignited. You reminded us that conviction, courage, coming out from the comfort zone, and curiosity are not optional extras, but vital companions on this path. Thank you so much, sir. To our respected director, sir, principals, Swamijis, HODs, vice chairs, thank you so much for your steadfast leadership that continues to illuminate our path. This event bears the imprint of your vision and commitment to nurturing excellence. This is the 5th day of the inauguration program. We have segregated the inauguration programs of different branches. Like the first day we had AI, then ECE, then ESE, AID, CAC, and today the 4 batches are present. So all our committee members, they have been working and they will be working for the entire induction program. So to the committee members and volunteers, thank you for your silent strength and tireless effort. The seamless execution of this program is a testament to your sincerity and planning. I also thank the team of MCs that with extreme diligence, they were handling the coordination of these events. I thank Ms. Pooja, Dr. Kumaran, Dr. Revati, Ms. Srinidhi, and the one who is leading the team, guiding them, Ms. Shri Vidya. Thank you so much. To our newest members, dear students, what Shri Vidya madam referred as new babies of Amrita, welcome. This is not just an academic beginning, it is the first chapter of a transformative journey. May you carry the fire of inquiry, the patience of learning, and humility of wisdom. Today is also a very special day. See, we gather here to welcome our new B.Tech students. It is deeply meaningful that this inauguration coincides with the observance of a very important Vedic ritual, Shravani Upakarma, a timeless Vedic samskara that marks the renewal of one's commitment to learning. It is today for Rigveda, Yajurveda, which will also happen on the Shravan Purnima for the remaining Vedas. In the Vedic tradition, Shravani Upakarma is not merely a ritual, it is a symbolic recommencement of Swadhyaya, self-study, and disciplined learning. The sacred thread is replaced, mantras are refreshed, and the student rededicates himself to the path of knowledge. In much the same way, this inauguration marks the beginning of a new academic journey. Each of you, my dear students, are stepping into a modern Gurukula, a space of inquiry, innovation, and inner growth. Let this day remind us that education, whether ancient or modern, is always and always sacred. So may your years ahead be guided by the same spirit of reverence. Last but not the least, to the parents, thank you very much. Thank you, dear parents, for entrusting us with your children. Your faith is the foundation on which we build their future. In closing, let us invoke the Guru Tattva as our guiding light in the eternal words, immortal words of Jagadguru Adi Shankaracharya. Nana Chidra Ghatodara Sthita Mahadeepa Prabhabhaswaram Jnanam Yasyatu Chakshuradi Karanadwara Bahispandate Janamiti Tameva Bhantam Anubhati Iti Etat Samasta in Jagat Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Nama Idam Shri Dakshinamurtaye. To that Dakshinamurti, the embodiment of knowledge shining through the Guru, we bow in reverence. Thank you, one and all. May this be the beginning of something truly, truly extraordinary. Thank you so much. Namah Shivaya.
As we all come to the conclusion of our orientation program for B.Tech, EEE, ME, RAE and ELC, I want to extend my heartfelt thank you to all of our esteemed speaker, guests, faculty members, and most importantly, our enthusiastic students. More exciting, learning and engaging activities awaits you. So from all of us here, we wish you all a wonderful journey at Amrita. We shall all rise for our national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
I request the parents and students to remain seated for some important informations to be given.